Oh, get drinky. You good drink? You got drink. Tonight's video, 4 minutes to go, because this computer is ridiculously faster than my old one. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. No, we can't actually do more than one video a day though. That would just be too much. We are gonna talk about the computer, the camera, and basically everything else I have in this backpack that allows us to make these videos, because we've been getting so many questions that I figured I'd just make a video about it. No, we're not gonna do the video at the park because I would freeze. I don't have built-in coats. I don't know why. We haven't evolved that much yet. Yeah, it's weird, I know. Oh, but we can still go to the park though. Yeah, we just can't do the talk there. We can still go have fun though. Is that all right? Yeah, we can do it. Let's go. What are we? Did we make it? Oh my goodness, we made it. Don't you try to get in my backpack. Hey, hey, no steals. No stealing. Yes, they are your toys, but I've got a hold of them. You can't just take what you want. Because that's just the rules. You have to have civilized society. Civilized society. Civilized. Can't just do whatever the pup you want. Come on. All right, here we are at my desk. We're gonna go over mostly the camera gear that I use. Really, buddy? I do want to say though that, I think some people just ask because they maybe just out of curiosity. Other people have asked because they said they want to shoot videos or make YouTube videos. I will say that for the longest time, I shot on just my iPhone and it was fine. If you want to take it a notch up from the iPhone, buddy, you're licking my hand while I'm holding the camera. You can get like a little mount like this, and then you can mount a microphone that hooks up straight into your iPhone. It's got a slot on the bottom so you can put like a little Joby tripod, which I have somewhere. I must have left it downstairs. Basically that way you can hold it kind of like how I hold this camera on an arm. You can connect one of these arms to it. So you could have it on an arm like this, and depending on which way you're using the camera and the mic, you can flip them however you need. This stand is overkill for this sort of setup. I'll link the much less expensive Joby below. That setup is how I shot pretty much all of my videos for over a year at least. I also have a GoPro that I'll use at times, more or less. I don't use it as much now unless I'm trying to get some weird angles or somewhere where I don't want the camera to get hurt, or if I want to strap it to one of the pups, because I do have a pup vest for the GoPro as well. My main setup is a Sony a6500. It is technically, I think, discontinued, maybe not, I'm not sure. They came out with the 63 and the 6500, but this is my primary camera. It'll shoot 4K at 30 frames. It'll shoot 1080 up to 120 frames. Obviously, it's interchangeable lenses. It's a mirrorless camera. So that is what I shoot 99% of my content on. Now, I will shoot just on my iPhone with the built-in iPhone mic on occasion when, like if we're in a weird situation where it's hard to carry this whole setup and keep an eye on the pups or something, I will just shoot on the iPhone, or if, it's always with you, so sometimes you're not expecting to catch anything and something just happens. For the flying shots, I do have the Mavic Air drone. I do have, obviously, the lens that's on it, which is the zoom lens I got this Christmas, and then I still have my Sigma lens. This lens is what they call a prime lens. It doesn't zoom or anything. So it allows you to get those really nice like bokeh shots, primarily for photography, but it works well for video as well. The only thing I don't like about it is it doesn't have the optical or the lens stabilization in it like this Sony lens does. Now my camera has optical stability as well, but when you have both, it just makes it that much better, obviously. For the microphone, I'm currently using a Rode Video Mic Pro Plus. A lot of you guys who have been following know I got this mic a few weeks ago. I was using the Micro as my primary microphone for over a year, like 2 years. I got the Rode Wireless, which was cool. It was really clean audio, but it was just too much to deal with and to worry about turning them on and connecting them, and then you really couldn't hear the pups or anything, so that kind of sucked too. Now, aside from lenses, I have filters for all the lenses. I keep just a UV filter on them at all times. It's clear, so that way it just protects the lens, and then I don't have to carry lens caps around. I don't want to deal with that. I also have ND filter for when it's like super sunny out. It just helps dim it a little bit so that things don't over highlight. And then I have a polarizer, which I'm not an expert on all this photography stuff, but basically I think it just kind of flattens things out. It makes colors look better in post-production. So like on overcast days kind of like today, I would use a polarizer if we were outside. Right now inside, I've just got the UV filter on there, just so I don't fingerprint up the lens or anything, and it doesn't affect the lighting at all. Speaking of lighting, I do have the little mini light that you guys have seen. I primarily use that in the FJ so that you can see the pups now. We'll use it around the house though. Everything's lit up. It's because I have that on the camera. Sometimes if it's just a real quick thing, I'll just hold it. It is hot shoe compatible, so it comes with a little mount. It can mount on top of the camera. The problem is if I have it mounted on the camera, I can't also mount the microphone. That's when I would use something like this, a little cage that goes around the camera. It allows you to have multiple hot shoes, really any attachments you want. All these drill holes you can put stuff on, little attachments, and expand. I will say the A6500 is not the heaviest camera. It's a mirrorless, but it's one of Sony's larger mirrorless 3/4 frames. Now, once you step up to like the A7Rs, those are obviously full frame, they're bigger. But you throw in that, you throw in my handheld tripod, the bigger lens, the microphone, and then the cage, and a light, and it actually gets a bit heavy. I mean, it's really heavy. Nisha really won't deal with it. And then aside from all that, I've just got extra batteries, some tripods, different things. But really, I mean, you just don't need any of that stuff. Your iPhone, if you really want to step it up, I know it seems weird, but audio is the most important thing. So just like a little mic like this is nice. I think these are like 50, 60 bucks. Again, it's all linked below. You know, the purpose of me buying a more expensive mic wasn't that the audio that was coming out of that was bad. It was that when I'm editing, I can amplify the audio. So like if the pups are farther away, or if I'm farther away with the pups, I can amplify this better and it'll stay cleaner versus that one, which would kind of distort and such if you tried to amplify it too much in editing. So I think that pretty much covers all the camera gear that I carry around in this backpack that you see all the time. Not to be confused with the black backpack that has pup stuff in it. But yeah, I mean, you don't need all that stuff. Just your phone is good enough. And then lastly, as you know, if you're watching the videos, I got a new computer recently. I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep this one. I might send this back and get the one with the higher graphics memory. But what's most important for my editing flow is I use Premiere Pro. I don't use Final Cut or iMovie or anything. And Premiere is very processor intensive when it renders. So I wanted to get pretty much just like the fastest processor. So this is an i9. It's not technically the fastest one they offer in the MacBooks. It's like a step below. It's stepping up from my 2016 first gen touch bar MacBook Pro. So like after you're done editing and you render, that means you have it, write it all out into a file so that you can watch it. The typical videos that I was making in that 10 to 15 range were taking between an hour and a half and 2 hours on this computer. On this one, it's about a minute per minute. If it's a 10-minute video, it takes about 10 minutes. If it's a 15-minute video, it takes about 13 to 15 minutes. I'm pretty happy with that, obviously, and that's taken a lot of stress off me, because then obviously when I want to upload a video at night, I knew on this computer that I had to finish it at least a couple hours before I wanted to upload it. And then if I finished it and watched it and somehow missed something, then it was like, well, I'm screwed at that point, because it's going to take another couple hours to render. Where this one, it's 10, 15 minutes to render out another copy. It's not a big deal. Lotus, you're doing so much better now. I think this is really helping. Again, we're going to talk about that more in tomorrow's video. Enzo, got anything to add? Yeah, I know you've never been a fan of the GoPro vest. So any questions you guys have about the equipment, obviously you can comment below and I will answer. Links for everything below as well. They're all affiliate links. It doesn't change anything that you pay for the items, but if you click through the links and buy through the links, it does give us and the channel a small commission. Again, it doesn't affect your price at all. It just kind of helps out the channel. So appreciate you guys as always, and we'll see you tomorrow.